Now folks, credit to where credit is due, but the vehicle model is, at the very least, a little bit different than copy and pasting as with these two, the CS53 and the 52C, basically swapping out the turret on the same chassis for a premium tank, the same scratch marks, dent marks on the mudguard, the same tow cable on the hull front. It's the same body, just a different turret. A CS63's turret from Tier 10 as a premium tank, so you have to give credit to this vehicle. It's a rubber mudguard on the hull front now, and on the hull sides, no more tow cable on the hull front, and there's a lip guarding the turret ring, so better protection against shot traps to the bottom of the turret. But the CS53, 56 Wojtek, the brown bear, it's a premium Tier 8 Polish medium tank. Another one, but this one is possibly unique. A little bit better than the 56 toilet paper. The same turret, the same gun, just on a medium tank body with better DPM. Funny enough, if this vehicle has the turbo mode on the 52C, I think this might be a very good vehicle, but it doesn't have the turbo mode. It could. So not a bad looking vehicle, but the 56 TP is more like a medium tank. It doesn't play like a 110, WZ-110 or IS-3. The hull armor sucks, the turret armor sucks. The only good thing about it is the gun that kinda looks like the Object 268's gun, or version number 4, 268, a little bit, but it's a high alpha gun for a medium tank. And normally we get heavy tanks with medium tank turrets, like a WZ-113-2 or Carnarvon Action X, some sort of patent thing, but normally we don't see heavy tank turrets on a medium tank body, right? So, amalgam, Frankenstein mixing and matching, I guess, but sometimes it's a mixing of different nation, like the Model 6 WZ-111 in a sense, but stealing turrets from the Czechs. So, not a bad looking vehicle. It is based off of the Brown Bear, a private in the Polish army during World War II. But not a bad concept of a vehicle, right? This thing seems pretty decent too. It has the punch, has the gun depression, but it should be a little bit more nimble than the 56 toilet paper. So it is based off of a actual bear. So go read about it. So standing next to a bunch of soldiers, but it's a freaking brown bear. Syrian brown bear, adopted by the 2nd Polish Corps during World War II. So that's pretty neat, but it's actually not a half bad vehicle when you think about it. All the weak aspects of the 56 TP negated when you're using the gun on a medium tank body. So just remove the 56 TP or just buff it. But yeah, seems pretty decent. Now let's take a look at the main stats. But 390 alpha, 221mm of pen, the same gun on the heavy tank, just better DPM now. So accuracy is not as good as the 56 TP, but at Tier 8, with that alpha and that punch of a gun, you're okay with that accuracy. That's fine. Aim time is also not 3 seconds. That's still fine. 8 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation, 35 rounds. Ammo count might be a problem. The same with IS-6 or IS-5s. Some of the heavy tanks only carry 30 rounds of the 122, so don't spam too much. But top speed of 50, horsepower per turn ratio is 17.3, so definitely faster to rev, right, than the 56 TP. Hull traverse, not that bad for medium. Little bit slower for the turret traverse, more like a fat medium tank. 1300 health, 200mm turret front, It is a weak mantlet, and the cupola is still prominent, so don't rely on the turret. Think of it like a T-44's turret. Sometimes you could bounce, but move about. Don't give them a good shot onto the mantlet, and therefore penetrating. Hull front 80, hull sides 60, the same chassis. View range 380. Radio is substandard. It's a little bit inferior, but close range, supporting medium tank a little bit, but it's not a bad concept. And this DPM is 200 more than the 56 TP. That is funny to me. 56 TP has 1680 baseline DPM. That's not great. I mean, you could argue that this is a T-34 in concept, but it doesn't have the armor of the turret of the T-34 heavy tank, right? It's 200mm, and you can easily penetrate the mantlet on this thing. So, taking a look at the actual armor, this thing needs a mobility buff, or at least turret armor buff. You can shoot right through the mantlet. It's about 200, 210 or so. Shoot the cupola, so more like a T-44 turret. You could bounce a few, just wiggle about, but hull front 80. It is pike shape, but 150mm effective. That's nothing. Compared to IS-3, compared to a WZ-110, that's nothing. So, yeah, this vehicle is not that great. Has 16 horsepower per ton ratio. I felt never reaching that 16 or reaching that 40 kilometers per hour top speed with 16, but might go through mud all the time. So this vehicle, 17, better top speed, better DPM, not as good accuracy or aim time. Is it the same aim time? Not as good, but yeah, it's still fine, right? 8 degrees gun depression, still good for a medium tank. You have better mobility. Camo's not that bad too, 16%. View range, could be better, but optics and radio, yeah, substandard. But it's so much better having this turret and having this gun on a medium tank than a heavy tank body. The heavy tank doesn't really play like a heavy tank, it plays more like a medium tank, but you are matchmaking against actual heavy tanks, like a BZ-176. So you're getting full blasted into your hull front with a high explosive round. So no, you would rather play the 50 TP prototype. This is more consistent with stuff like the 252U in a sense, but it's a lot bouncier on the upper plate than this thing. So yeah, I really don't like this thing. Just personal bias, but it feels so much better on a medium tank chassis than actual heavy tank chassis. Funny enough, but yeah, what's so bad about this vehicle? Not really that much, right? DPM is kind of substandard nowadays. Good DPM is about 2000, 2100. So with a rammer, that's 2300 or so. That's okay. That's like the old meta or mediocre average DPM. Substandard DPM is about 1500, 1600 or so. So that's about average. Accuracy aim time for the gun for a medium tank, not that bad. Not really. Compare this to a Chimera or Nemesis, not that bad, right? Not really. Alpha damage, fine. Penetration, fine. Gold shell is, it's okay. 250. It would be like 280 or 290. That would be pretty good, but it's APCR, so 250 is okay, average or so. High explosive is high explosive. Shell velocity is quick enough for AP, so not too bad. Mobility is decent for that horsepower per ton ratio and top speed. Reverse speed could be a little bit better at about 20 kilometers per hour going backwards, but 16 is alright. So boosting that up with turbocharger, but it is a premium tank and definitely more viable than the 56 TP in my opinion. Mostly because the body and the mobility that comes with it. So Comparing it to same alpha damage counterparts at Tier 8, we have a T34-3, 𝗪𝗱𝟕, and an STG. This thing has preferential matchmaking, the rest doesn't. The Wojtek has comparable DPM, about the same. The same with the STG, but not as good accuracy, the same aim time. Better gun depression though. About the same turret traverse for a large turret. You do have a little bit more pen baseline than the STG, but health a little bit below average. Turret armor is somewhat okay. Does weigh 52 tons, the heaviest. And the horsepower per ton ratio is also the best. You could go ramming into other medium tanks and also light tanks, but this is a very heavy of a medium tank with that horsepower per ton ratio and top speed. So could use better reverse, but turbocharger doesn't hurt. Yeah, hull traverse not that bad too. Camo is still better than the Sherman, better than the T34-3. So not bad, not too shabby. View range better than the Russian, about the same as the T34-3. So you're paying for the matchmaking with better pen, of course. So that's the trade-off, but seems good. Really does seem good. I mean, I'm just hating on the 56 TP and everything seems good. So you definitely want rammer on this vehicle. And for medium tank builds, I would say optics and turbocharger, even though dispersion might be a problem with this vehicle because the large caliber gun. We have to see the actual soft stats, but for medium tanks, I usually go with rammer, optics, turbocharger. If it's a heavy gun, if it's a large caliber gun, like the 𝗪𝗓 or Nemesis, I chose vertical stabilizer for the actual accuracy, but or Vince to help out with everything. Oh, I chose Vince. I thought I chose vertical stabilizer, possibly on higher tiers like tier 9s. Some of the tier 9s have garbage dispersion, but yeah, it's a large caliber gun on a medium tank body, so normally you want something to help out with the actual base accuracy or some of the aim time and other stuff, but vertical stabilizer doesn't hurt. I think I put it on the Chinese medium tanks, or some of the Chinese medium tanks have it. Like this thing, you really want to make sure you actually hit. So vertical stabilizer, more important than optics in this scenario, but on the actual 56 TP, dispersion while moving sucks, so only shoot while traversing the turret is preferable, but preferable. It's not a bad gun, but I would still say rammer, optics, turbocharger, baseline. Otherwise, sometimes Vince will help out. So, what is it? Is it versatile? It's a versatile. It doesn't matter at tier 8, but it's the same representation with T34-3, versatile, tier 8s. Oh, these things. Oh, gross. So let's just take a look at CS. I didn't even finish CS 53. So the same with the Fox, but first one is dispersion or traverse speed. No, traverse speed or less penalty. You could use a little bit better traverse for the turret. 35 or so is okay. 36. It's not that crazy, but my cutoff point is 40 to 45 degrees per second. So I would say better traverse. Don't get hit. You're not supposed to. With that armor, armor is sometimes bouncy, but don't rely on it. So like a T44 armor, better traverse. Dispersion while moving or aim circle size. Large caliber gun, I would say better dispersion while moving. Focus on shifting about, throwing off the shots to your turret. So dispersion while moving. And camo or reverse speed. If you already have turbocharger, you should get better reverse speed already, but I would say camo. Baseline camo on this vehicle is not that bad. 16%. You could use more reverse, but play this thing like a heavy tank-esque of a medium. Like a 122 TM or T34-3. So, yeah, better camo. You could also camp in the back and try to take pot shots, but I wonder whenever did I pick better reverse speed. I think I picked better reverse for assault medium tanks with garbage camo already. So stuff like the Super Pershing, the M47 improved. Those doesn't have actual camo, so you're playing those like heavy tanks. But let's see, Super Persh. Yep, better reverse on the Super Pershing. I don't care about camo. I'm just playing it like a heavy tank at this point. So I think you can play this thing more like a medium than actual pseudo heavy tanks for mediums. So play this thing more a little bit reserved because of the armor. Armor doesn't really stand up that well compared to a M47 improved. I picked camo on the shovel pad. Why? This thing has no camo. This thing gets 0 camo basically without the camo bonus. Oh no. Oh, this thing sucks. Oh no, shovel pad has no camo whatsoever. So overall, it's not a bad vehicle. Definitely not a bad vehicle. Definitely better than the 56 TP. No question. Mostly because you're focused on mobility now, rather than some armor, where you don't have any armor anyways. So, feels like a 6. Solid 6. Possibly 6.5. If I'm feeling generous, right? There's not that many downsides to this vehicle. You could say DPM might be a little bit low for your liking. The handling of the gun, the accuracy, the aim time might be a little bit but it's a large caliber gun. And that really comes with the territory for a large caliber. Like a 122 on a tier 8. So, like a T34-3 or T34-2. So, yeah, original gun handling on these vehicles are not great. 0.4 accuracy. And that's also with Vince and the actual field mods. So, aim time is not bad, but you're basically donkeying the shot. This thing has dispersion while traversing, but not as good dispersion while traversing, but good accuracy, baseline accuracy. So overall, it is a large caliber gun. You have to punch out of a medium tank, but yeah, I would say buffing. It's still fine. You don't need to buff the accuracy or aim time. It still feels good, right? On paper, about the same as with a Chimera or Nemesis, but you have the mobility. You have 50 km/h top speed. If this thing could have the turbo mode on the 52C, it will be a 7. You're getting to positions quicker, right? If you have the turbo mode on this thing, I mean, that's chef kiss. Pretty awesome. Yeah, turbo mode on this thing doesn't feel that crazy when you don't have that much alpha damage behind it. So, yeah, putting the turbo mode on this thing with the alpha of the gun, that might be a 7. That might be even a 7.5 on a good day. So, yeah, 6.5 or 6 for now. Well, there you go, folks. CS53, 56 TP, Wojtek, the brown bear. So, pretty decent vehicle. At least the vehicle model is also different, right? So, not exactly copy and paste. But for now, pretty good. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.